What's going on, guys? High Mountain Trader here. I want to just do a little recap of today's trades. Today was a tough day, but we managed to fight our way back and I closed green. I'm going to try to get through this video as quick as possible. I'm trying to make the video shorter, but it's difficult. I'm not that great at editing. I'm a trader, not a YouTuber, but even though I'm trying to do YouTube, it's a lot more work than I thought it was. But we'll get better over time. And so you can see here, I had this line here. It's just a quick pivot from over here, but I took a long position here, and my thoughts were just that if we hit this line and we can bounce back up, it's my first trade of the day, and we can go back green, I'll be in a position where I can put on some real size up here and see if we can continue the uptrend. Although I wasn't, all that confident about continuing the uptrend, I thought there was a possibility of a red day, but still, I think it's a good trade, and I like it, although it didn't work, as you'll see here. And I'm just going to fast forward these so you can see what happens here. Back green on the day. I was down only like, $30 or something like that from a trade that I took. I think it was last night or something. So you can see I had a little bit of commissions on, but and it's kind of pushing my way. I'm up a point and a half or so, but I'm not really interested in taking that off with one contract. Being the first trade of the day, I'm trying to see if it can move my way, push up here, reclaim, the previous day's close, and go back green on the day where I can start building a position with a nice average down here, down here below the red to green line. I kind of like to start the day off trying to put myself in a position that I can add to a winner and have that big day. Of course, it doesn't go that way all the time, and maybe it seldomly goes that way, but when it does, you can get those big winners with just limited risk. But that's not how it went. I stopped out right there. I just had one contract. I'm down $73. But I just jump out. I jumped right back in, and I changed it to 2 contracts instead of 1. And I hit the button twice on accident. And I have 4 contracts here, and I'm still okay with that. We're still holding this line, but I'm also noticing, this area down here and thinking, oh, that might have been a better place for a scalp. If I was looking just to scalp it really quick, for a couple points and a few dollars, this line a little bit lower would have been better. But I still think if we can hold this area here and start bouncing and go back green, I don't mind having 4 contracts for that. You can see I'm down $350, $400, and I took it off right there. I'm down, almost $600 on the day, and it's not the way I wanted to start my day, but we're still reclaiming that line again. And I thought, oh man, this thing's going to shake me out and it's going to go without me. And I don't mind getting out and re-entering and getting out and re-entering on the same area. I know a lot of people might think, oh, you should just hold through that. But when this starts breaking below, I don't want to get out down here. I don't want to take that big loss. I mean, I know $500-600 is a lot of money, and it's not how I want to start my day, but it's just how I manage my trades when I'm trading properly. And of course, I would have liked to have an entry down here a little bit lower. And I have 6 contracts now. After it baked out twice, I'm pretty confident now that we're going to get some sort of a bounce. But now I'm not thinking as much about, holding this till it goes green and adding and having a really big winner on that first trade, because I'm already down $500-600. So now I'm thinking about it baked out, it came back, and there's going to be some sort of pop here, and I can get a few bucks back and kind of reset for the day. And that's what I'm thinking. Still feels a little heavy, and I almost jumped out right here, but I kind of just held through it and thought, if this dumps real hard and fast and I end up, stopping out over here, over here or something like that with 6 contracts, I'm going to be down pretty big on the day, and I might have to think about just calling it a day there. but I'm okay with taking losses and re-entering. Um, it's just something that you'll see that I do all the time. It works for me. Everybody's different. Trading is very individual, but for me, it's something that works. I have 6 contracts. I'm up a point, so I'm up about $200-300 right now, and trying to decide right now in the moment, what am I going to do with this trade? I have 6 contracts, and I just decided, look, I'm going to get a couple $100 back and reset. And so that's what I did. I switched over to InQ because I just been liking the price action on it better lately, and just a lot more volatility, and that's what I'm looking for. And right now I'm looking at this chart, and you can see I have my crosshairs up here, and I'm trying to be patient and wait for this area to get a starter and maybe add into this consolidation. Um, because I do, at this point, I'm starting to feel like we're probably going to pull back down. Of course, you never know what's going to happen, but I know that a lot of people, if you look over to the left, the spike at the end of the day yesterday, we've already came back to those levels. And if they pick that up again and we start pulling back, there's going to be a little bit of panic. So, I'm just trading the price action how I see it. A lot of people might think this is crazy to be looking for a short right here after this big drop and this big bounce that we're going to go to the moon, and that's possible, but that's always possible. So we have to trade the way that we see the market and trust our instincts, and just respect our risk, um, and that's it. But I did get a little FOMO. I wasn't patient enough to wait over here, as you're going to see. I got in a little bit early, and that cost me. I should have been a little more patient, but I didn't want it to drop and start going without me. Just peeking still at 340, and I'm peeking back at the ES just to see what the price action looks like and see what's going on over there. Is it still looking weak or what's going on? And I'm back on InQ. And I took 2 contracts there, which I'm totally comfortable having. I don't mind having 4, 6, 8 contracts of InQ as long as I'm managing it correctly and positioning myself correctly. But of course, I'm still thinking that up here is the better entry, and that I'm in a little bit early right now. Again, I don't have a hard stop in, but I do have my finger on a hotkey to exit. It doesn't feel right to me. And that's it. I'm out right there. I just took the loss, and I'm down $517, but I still like the trade, and I just wanted to get out, and just in case this just kept going. But as you see, it rejected again, and it's looking weak again. And so, I just jumped right back in. Of course, I sacrificed a little bit of entry there, but I just needed to reset myself, and I didn't want to be getting out up here if that just started ripping. But it didn't. It rejected again, and there is selling pressure here, like I thought there would be. And right now, I'm just a second ago I was, you see as it's pushing down, I'm up $250, $300. I'm getting close to even on the day, but I only have 2 contracts, and I want to give it a chance to play out. At this point, I still do believe that we could get a bigger move down, and that this could start, selling off all day. Maybe not real aggressively, but definitely come down and break these lows. And I'm trying to position myself for that, but I'm already down, $400 or $500. And so I'm trying to be a little bit careful. And I just added right there. And that was my mistake. I didn't let it confirm. I should have been adding under here. And I got a little bit aggressive with it. And I do that at times. I do tend to trade pretty aggressively. And you can see now I'm down $1,000, and boom, I just had to jump out. And now I'm down $1,273. And I'm thinking quickly in my head in real time, you know, am I done for the day? You know, but what I told myself is, okay, if this rips up here, I was wrong. You know, if it gets above here and it starts consolidating above this line here and back into this chop zone, you know, then maybe I was wrong. But as of now, when I see this buying pressure still coming in, what I'm thinking is I was just a little bit early and I got shaken out, and getting shaken out happens all the time. And so I'm just staying in the game. And I know that if I get in again and it shakes me out one more time, I have to be done for the day. You know, depending on, you know, how the trade would go, I could be down as much as $1,500, $2,000 in the day, which is more than, you know, I really should lose on a small account. But I still see this selling pressure here. So I just got in with the starter. I didn't just jump in with 6 contracts or something like that and try to make that all back, you know. And then this rips back up against me and I have to stop out down $2,500. So I only took 2 contracts. And I'm totally comfortable being down $1,200 holding 2 contracts. If this rips up again, I'll get out again. I'll stop out again, and then I'd probably call it a day. But I do want to try to keep my you know, red days, a big red day at about $1,000. I don't want to get much higher than that, but you know, 1,300, I'm okay with getting back in if I still feel like the trade is there according to the way I seen it. You might not see this trade right here. You might think this is crazy. There's no setup here that you like, but we all see the market differently. And this is a trade that I like. I love the fact that it pulled down and that it broke the high of this candle and sucked in a bunch of longs. And if it starts selling off again, you're going to get some quick momentum to the downside. Now I have 6 contracts and I have my finger on the trigger right now. If this goes back against me and starts popping against me, I have to get out right away with 6 contracts. I can't stop out up here with 6 contracts. I just can't. That's too much to risk. But at this point, I'm feeling comfortable and I'm feeling pretty good about myself because I'm like, you know, I got shooken out of ES the first couple trades. Yeah, I got a couple $100 back on that pop. But I got shooken out a couple times. I got shooken out a couple times on this. But the trade was still valid in my eyes, the way that I seen it. And so now I have 6 contracts and I'm just slightly in the money. And now I'm thinking, okay, this is either going to drop and we'll see how it goes, or it's going to pop and, you know, I'm going to have a pretty big loss, but, you know, I'm not going to cover up here. I'm out, you know, right here. We're up about $700 right now. Of course, my mentality now is different. I'm not thinking, let's hold this to way down here because I'm already down $1,300 on the day. You can see in the video where I had that big loss where I lost $3,000. I had many chances to get out with, you know, $800, $700 after being down 2,000 on the day, and I didn't take it because I was too convinced that I knew what the market was going to do when I wanted to do it. I just had too much conviction, and boom. This time I didn't do that. I took the trade off and I just went green on the day at $100. And so I'm already know that this is probably going to sell off, but I'm okay with that. I'm happy to be back green on the day and I can reevaluate the situation and just kind of see how it goes. So, sorry, this is me when you see that trade and then it disappeared, that's because when I'm recording this video, I went a little far. And so I went back a little bit so you can see the beginning of the trade. But this trade isn't much. I'm going to take a little short here and I don't like it. And so I just jump out. Sorry about that, guys. Just going to kind of fast forward through this. And you can see I just kind of jumped in and jumped out right there. Down, I lost like maybe 50 bucks on that trade. And I still like it, but I was thinking, maybe I can get in a little bit higher. I'm not sure if I already did it or not, but I think you'll be able to see, but I went and I switched my size down to one contract just because we're at the low end and I don't really like shorting down here. And if I do, I want to do it with less size. Again, this is me going too far. And you can see I'm up $673, but you're going to see that trade. I'm going to rewind it when I was recording the video. Sorry about that. You can see me pulling it back and rewinding. And this is the trade right here. So I just took one contract here. And if it started to drop, I would have added down here. But because I only have one contract, I just said, look, I'm going to let this go all the way up here. If it gets up here, then maybe I'll add. I'll just kind of get a feel for it. But I'm not really worried about this ripping up on me with one contract. I'm totally comfortable with that. And after trying to, this bounce, trying to push up and then coming back down, I'm pretty confident that we're going to go lower. And normally, if I had a cushion on the day, I would be adding into this pop a little bit, maybe here, and kind of getting an average in here for that next leg down. But because it's been a really tough morning, I had to fight my way back from down 1,300 to, green on the day or flat on the day. I just decided not to add. I'm just going to let it go. You can see I'm down at like $150, $180. Nothing too bad. Of course, I won't let this go to the moon, even though it's only one contract, but I want to see how it reacts in this area. And I also don't want to start adding up here at this point and have it rip up here and stop out $700, $800, $600 down and have to start that process all again. So I just kind of decided at this point, I'm going to see how this plays out. And if it looks weak and I get a chance to add, I will. If it stops me out for $200-300 bucks, then I'm fine with that. Of course, this entry right here looks a lot better. And this is normally where I'd like to get the entry, but with only one contract, I'm pretty comfortable with it and I'm fine with the trade. And believe it or not, I'm very happy with how I'm trading today. I stopped out every time where I thought I should have. I re-entered where I thought I should have. And I took my profits when I should have, even though in hindsight, this move coming all the way down is probably another $3,000-4,000, whatever, if I would have held it. That's hindsight. I was down 1,300. I had to take it off when I was back in the green. It's just what I had to do. Reset my mental for the day and look for another place to attack. And you can see this candle sucked all the way down, sold off. Now that add up here is looking very, very good in hindsight. But so I added, as you can see, as it broke down, I took 3 contracts. I didn't get too crazy. We're up to $300-400 now on this trade. And I'm just looking for one push. Again, this day didn't go how I planned. You know, very seldomly does in trading. And so I'm not holding this thinking we're going to go to the basement. I just want to get back in the money on the day. And as you can see, I took it off right there, and it went a little bit lower, but not much. And it started bouncing. So it was actually a pretty good exit. And now you can see where I exited right here, and it just kind of started chopping around. So we're up $673 on the day. And so right here, I'm just trying to get a farther out view of the chart and look for a place where we might get a bounce. And why I was trying to find that spot where we get a bounce to scalp, it bounced. So, you know, I just missed that, had to let that go. You know, of course, I got some frustration and a little bit of FOMO coming in here. When I seen that I was short up in here with some pretty decent size, and we got this big old move. But you know, it shook me out a few times, and so I had to play the trade the way that I thought was best. And I'm glad to be at $700 right now. And this is a little pivot that I got from over here, and I thought this was a good potential for a higher low right here for a potential bounce to come back up into this range. The market's been really choppy. It hasn't had a lot of momentum in one direction or the other. So I thought, you know, this is a good trade right here to potentially, you know, get a bounce off of a lower high. And it just doesn't work out. I'm just going to kind of fast forward to through this. And you can see I'm down. Now my P&L's at $526 now. And I'm taking the markers off because I just can't see what's going on there with all those markers in the way. And I want to see if this line reclaims. If it reclaims, then I'll get back into the trade again. You know, I like those fake outs. It's just something that I like to take. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But instead, what I did is I've seen these two tails right here. I said, look, let's just move this line down a little bit and, you know, see if it'll work for us. And it didn't work. As you can see, we're now only up 462 on the day. And I'm starting to feel like I'm over trading a bit. You know, I know I'm over trading, but I'm still, you know, respecting my stops. I'm still getting in and out. I'm trading good. I don't mind that at all. And here's one more similar trade. I'm just showing here, this is where I should have took the short if I really wanted another leg down. Should have took it here. I missed it. I was kind of taking I think I was taking a break. I just went for a walk, went outside, got some fresh air, grabbed something to eat, whatever the case may be. I can't remember, but it kind of went down without me. But I'm also thinking this didn't go up and kind of come down and try to go up again and then come down. And, you know, it went straight up and kind of straight back down. And so I'm thinking we might not get as big of a bounce here before we go lower. I'm extremely confident that this is going to break. But again, I don't want to take it. Well, you see how the trade plays out. And I just took it with one contract again. Maybe up here I would have took it with 2 or 3 contracts where the trade should have been executed at, but I didn't. I missed that. And so I said, you know what? Because it went straight up, straight down, I don't think we're going to get much of a bounce here. I'll go ahead and take one contract. I'll see how it reacts in this area here and possibly get an ad, but it didn't. It just started going our way. And once it starts breaking that low, I try to wait for a little bit of a pullback where the candle kind of sucks up a little bit, where I can add and keep the best average possible. have 2 contracts now. And I don't mind having a 3rd contract, 4th contract, as long as I can keep my average at that blue line or so. I don't want my average to be below the previous, area there, the previous low. And so I just scalped it there. I took it off. We're back up $714. It was a decent trade. And I believe this is my last trade of the day here. I just set a limit order here. I think kind of this area right here where we, had this big candle, and then we started this sell-off, and we pushed all the way back up here. And I remember yesterday when we just kept ripping all the way, I seen that on the chart. So I'm thinking that in my head. So I only took 1 contract. Like, I'm not getting crazy here. I'm not going to finish this day red or even, because I get crazy here and this rips all the way up. The previous close here, sorry guys, that's my Slack where we have a couple guys in there. But yeah, this is just a quick scalp. Last trade of the day. I do think that this has the potential to sell off, but I'm not trying to hold through all that. All I'm trying to do is make $100 off this trade, cover some of my commissions, whatever the case may be. And I had a really great entry there. I was really patient, set a limit order there. And it wasn't such a difficult day, where I had to fight back and kind of over traded a little bit. I may have taken more size there. And that's it, guys. We finished up just a little over $800 today. Again, I'm pretty happy with how I traded today. It wasn't easy, but I think I respected my stops. I got back in. I kind of fought the fight and ended up green. So I hope everybody had a good day. Hang in there. Trading is very difficult. Anybody who tells you it's easy is lying to you, but it can be done if you can stick to your plan and just stay strong. We'll see you guys tomorrow.